Hey y'all. This is just a general reading, so if it resonates, cool. And if it doesn't, that's cool too. Um, so yeah, really interesting. A lot of interesting energies in the pre-shuffle. So basically, um, this is this spread is talking about a situation where you've been feeling like kind of left out in the cold. So you've been feeling like in a place where your material resources, your career opportunities, your your abundance has felt threatened, and you feel left out in the cold. And that's just like the overall energy in the situation. And you've been having a lot of trouble moving past that energy because of like some kind of heartbreak. So there's comes some kind of situation that you gave a lot of love to. Um, it's the Queen of Cups energy. So you might have given like the most love you've ever given to a situation. Or maybe if it wasn't given, you might have felt the most love. Although I guess you could argue that those are the same thing. I don't know, but you gave a lot of love. You felt a lot of love. You definitely felt a lot of love in the situation. And so you've been in this place of heartbreak, this place of feeling left out in the cold. You feel like you can't move past that. And the thing that you're really striving for, like the thing that you really want out of this whole situation, like regardless of the person or a new person or anything like that, like the thing that you really want out of this situation is to be able to receive in love and receive also. I'm seeing like in your business and like in your career, like you might have been, well, not might have been, it looks like you were in a situation where like you've been a boss. You've been like, whether it's happening externally so much, like you still are like, you've enacted a lot of control over your conscious mind, like out of your inner life, if that makes sense. Your thoughts, your feelings, the stories that you're telling, the conversations that you're having in your head. Have you ever noticed like we're always talking to ourselves, kind of like having conversations with other people in our head, imagining what they would say? I don't know if you do that, but I think plenty of people do. Like imagining what people would say to you, what would you say to them? Like you're imagining, always having imaginal conversations, whether they be like with yourself or with other people. And you've been like noticing that and like controlling those narratives, which could sound like a negative thing, but you're doing it like out of a place of wanting to change your rewiring, rewire yourself, rewire your brain, change your rewiring. Why did I say that? You might have felt like maybe you've already done this in the past. You've already done some rewiring. And you realized it was faulty and like you needed to do more. So you've really taken on this emperor role, to yourself, like enacted a lot of control over yourself. You might have been holding back a lot of urges, disciplining yourself, like taming your addictions, which is all really lovely and wonderful. And it's taken you to this place where, despite feeling kind of left out in the cold in this situation, in this like looks like social situation, or business situation or career situation, like, despite feeling left out in the cold externally, you're still operating under this sense of like real stability, internal stability. And that could be like things like feeling like you really know who you are, feeling like you really know what your skills are, what your and what your purpose is, and what you're meant to do here on earth. So that's really beautiful. That being said, there's like, it looks like you kind of might have gone like too much into this Emperor energy, into this controlling kind of structured place internally. Not that you can't have structure in your life, but the structure, you've had a lot of structure over like your thoughts and feelings. It might not even be extending to your physical reality yet, but it is like a lot of inner work that you've been doing. And you're in this feeling of like really hoping to receive and to not be left out in the cold anymore, and to like receive love and to receive opportunities and to like, yeah, it feels like a balancing of the scales. Like, you've been in this Emperor energy, and like you I mean, it's really cool, the Emperor and the Empress are in this spread, but like, you've been in this Emperor energy and you're like really wanting to get into this receiving energy. Because like the Emperor is a card of like control and like reigning, and the Empress is like just receiving the spoils of that. Essentially, she creates and she nurtures, etc. She has a great role, but she is receiving a lot, and that's her job. That's what allows her to do her job. So she's receiving energy, she's receiving resources in order to create. And it feels like you are in a place where you're feeling like, where are my resources to create? Where are my resources to create, whether it be creatively in a business or like to create love? Where are my resources for that? There's also like an energy of feeling like your environment that you're in, like in this situation of like feeling lack, feeling left out in the cold. The environment is also like pretty competitive. So I'm seeing people like kind of like gossiping, or people like just like sizing each other up and like filtering for weakness. And or that might just be your perception of the situation that you're in, but regardless, it's how you're feeling about your external reality and about this situation where you've been left out in the cold. So it's like, not only are you like feeling lonely, but you're also feeling like wary of people that it would be possible to have connection with, which makes this receiving thing really hard. Because if you're feeling lonely and wary of other people, suspicious of other people, like, what are you going to do? You can't ask for help. And that's what you're really craving. You're really craving like being able to ask for help and to receive it in a way that feels good to you. Because it might have been in the past, like the reason you had to get into this Emperor energy was that in the past, receiving might have felt like, it might have felt scary, because it might have felt like the people you were receiving from, whether that be your parents, a past relationship, the people that you were receiving help and nurturing from were like trying to control you. Whether they were or they weren't, it felt like that, because you didn't have this really grounded sense of self yet. Like these boundaries, these like limits of like where I am and where I end and the other person starts, like that kind of thing. But it looks like the overall, like the way that you're moving forward is like in this really stable way. Like you're still moving forward, but maybe not at this breakneck speed. But it's good because it's like gonna give you your future a lot more stability and groundedness, which is beautiful. And like overall, you're gonna be successful here. I see you being successful and like being able to balance this energy of creation, building, entrepreneurship, providing, this energy of providing with this energy of receiving. So I didn't mean to say creation in the beginning, but maybe that's what I meant. Yeah. Because both sides are creation. Both sides are creating. The provider and the receiver are both creating. And maybe there's just been this imbalance of that in yourself. This imbalance of providing and receiving. And that's blocking you from creating what you want to create. But it's safe to receive because you're gonna give back again because you're a provider. You are a provider. Like you are embodying this emperor energy. So like it's safe to receive. It's safe to receive and allow that cycle to give to itself. It's just like a beautiful, like, it's just a beautiful system that gives back to itself. It's like the recycling. It's like the recycling symbol. In order to provide more, you have to receive, and you've just been like providing for other people, for yourself, and then like stopping the flow of receiving. So then you're just like giving from this empty cup, which is like doesn't help anybody. Yeah. You need both. You need both. And it's going to be different this time. Like you're not going to receive from this place that's like doesn't have any boundaries. Like the people giving to you aren't going to be able to shake you like they did before. Not that they were bad or there was anything wrong with them giving to you, but because you were so boundaryless, like it was really hard to receive because everything you received would like change you and like sweep you to another. Like I'm seeing like a pool of water that's like having pennies thrown into it or money thrown into it, and it's just like the water is just like sloshing around versus like a container that can kind of keep its own shape. Maybe just like, a fountain with less water in it or something. Because you still need, the water, the emotions, the feelings. Anyways, this metaphor is like getting too far away from me. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. Yeah. That's what all my readings have been about lately. It's safe to receive. Very interesting. And I also pulled these two oracle cards. So I pulled Oshun and Aphrodite. So I think most of us, I don't know, might be familiar with Aphrodite. She's the goddess of love and beauty from Greek mythology. She's just a hot hottie, and she receives in love. But then Oshun is a giver. It all tied in. It all tied together. The Oshun is the creator. She's a Nigerian goddess, and she is like a mother goddess. And yeah, she's all about fertility, as many mother goddesses are, but she's also about entrepreneurship and career success, and which not all mother goddesses are about. So I thought that was interesting because I think sometimes in like the zeitgeist, the feminine is like not always attributed with being the provider and the receiver, but we all require everything. We all require both sides. If you just have one side of a cycle, you're like gasping for air. You're like bleeding out. There's like a hole in your chest, and all your energy is just like gushing out of you. Anyways, I hope that made sense. That was super interesting. And yeah, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later.